Great things, my fellow warriors, for Meckanimal, and today we're going to dissect the dumbbell row. And the dumbbell row is one of the most valued, if not the most valued, back exercise using external weight that I use for myself back in the days and mostly for my client. So it can be used as a primary muscle builder for the back for beginners, which I highly suggest you start using beside the bodyweight movement, and as a secondary movement for intermediate to advanced level athletes. For those who still experiencing some weaknesses lingering in the back, and that can be used to supplement the workload that you need to help you increase, the hypertrophy needed to reach a skill, a pulling skill or something like that. So that's me digressing a little bit. Let's get back to the topic. So today I'm going to break down 3 variations of the dumbbell row that I use, and depending on how comfortable you feel with those 2 variations, you can just feel free to pick any of them or even rotate between all of them to help you achieve your pulling goal that you're looking into. And the first one will be the support assisted one-arm dumbbell row, and you can use a bench or anything where you can lay your hand onto to help it as a support. The second one will be the support unassisted version, where you just rely on your 2 legs and your arm laying on your body to achieve stability, enough stability for you to perform. And the third one will be the standing dumbbell row with 2 dumbbells, and that one requires a little bit of your erectors and your spine musculature to be working for you to perform. So it may be a little more taxing on your nervous system, but as a general athleticism, it will be a better, bang for buck exercise to use. So first, we're going to start with the sport assisted version, and the sport assisted version will be, in this case, I'm going to be using like a 30-pound. This is the highest right now that I have. I could use a higher one, which is 50, but it will be a kettlebell. And given that the title of the video is about dumbbells, let's just stick to dumbbells, because you could actually use a kettlebell. It will serve the same purpose and it will just do the job fine. And that's another reason why I like it, because I like the dumbbell row, because you can pretty much grab anything. Not that that's the best option, but if you want to be stranded somewhere with no access to free weights, you can grab a brick or something similar, and then perform a row and still get a good stimulation of the muscle. So I like to start by staggering my feet in this manner, and I like to use the same leg and the same arm of the arm moving together, aligned together. So the most common form observed all over the place is opposite arm and opposite limb facing each other, and then you row. So what happens in this case is sometimes when it gets too heavy, people tilt the pelvis, and whenever you tilt your pelvis, in addition to spinal tilt, you end up cheating yourself. So what happens with same arm and same leg together, you eliminate the pelvis tilt, and you are stuck with at best spinal tilt, which of course you want to avoid. But if it happened that you were to tilt a little bit to cheat, at least you will be just limited by you'll be limited by the pelvis tilt by using the same leg and the same arm. So that's why I like this version better. Not that the other one is not good, but this is one of the preferred versions that I like. And here, you want to have your torso parallel to the ground. the way I like it, or you can go a little bit up to 45 degrees. So 45 degrees from the top or 90 degrees from the bottom, and then you retract and depress your shoulder blade before you roll. And the whole time, I want you to keep it depressed and retracted. And as you can see, you want to keep your elbow as close as possible to your body. The closest you have your elbow to your body, thinking of shaving your obliques with your elbow, the better you're going to be engaging your muscles and work them how they're supposed to be. The mistake people do is they're here and they flare the elbow. This is due to lack of stability in your scapula, because by doing this, you lack the ability to bring the whole scapula back down before you roll. So don't be one of those who flare the elbow out and roll. You want to be bringing it inside and roll. So this is how you do it. Now the unassisted version, the bench unassisted version will be either you go by the standard of the popularizing movement, which is here. Stagger, use your elbow, and then rest on the opposite knee. Retract, depress, and roll. So you could go this way, or you could go my way, make it even harder by just pushing this knee out so you can create that external rotation and be stable. And now from here you pull and you're less likely to cheat, less likely to tilt your pelvis, and with this here, less likely to even rotate, because if you rotate like this, we're pushing your arm, outward, you're more likely to lose stability. So this unassisted one, this unassisted, what the fuck? This unassisted version is actually like a really, really challenging one to not only you have to be stable, but then you be subjected to maintain, that crispy form that's required for you to engage your muscle properly. And then you have the last but not least version, which is the standing one with 2 dumbbells. And you grab to here. Let me show you the front version. So from here, you hinge forward, retract, depress, and then you roll. And your feet stance will depend on how comfortable, how wide your shoulders are actually, and how comfortable you are moving in your hands outward. So usually I suggest people to be about shoulder width or slightly inside your shoulder width, so that you can hover loose or neutral and not bump your calves or your thighs. And from here, you retract and depress, and then you roll. You bring toward your hip. Even here, I forgot to mention, you want to be bringing toward your hip, the back of your hip, toward your hip crease. So don't be bringing it inward. You want to be depressing and bring toward the crease of your hip. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Retract, depress, bring toward the crease of your hip, whether you're standing or whether you're assisted or unassisted. During all the 3 versions, it is crucial to maintain the best form that you can possibly maintain to be able to achieve your results that you are looking or seeking to unlock. That said, let's go over it again. You have the assisted one with a single arm, back tight, parallel to the ground, pull toward the crease and elbow as tight as possible to the body. The unassisted one, press out, retracted press and mechanic, pull. Keep the back tight, the scapula tight on the tension at all time. And you have the third version, which is hip hinge, slightly bent, and then you roll. And maintain your spine neutral by keeping your head as neutral as possible. A lot of time people strain. I want you to keep your spine neutral and perform to the best of your ability. From this position, you look as such. Feet inside shoulder width so that you avoid bumping the weight with your thighs or calves. Somewhere here, you hinge forward, back retracted, and then pull toward your hip crease and elbow as far back as possible. So that's that. You have all three versions of the dumbbell row that I like to use, and it's up to you now to unlock greatness. You have no more excuse not to build a great back, whether you're a beginner or an advanced player. And beginners can use it to build all the good base that they need to excel in the future. And advanced can use that to work on the weaknesses that are still lingering and keeping them from achieving any type of skills that they may be seeking at the moment. So that's that. Like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Everything is and will always be the Meckanimal way. Salute. Is that how you flex for the back? I don't know. How do you do it? Is it like this? Or is it like the oh no shit? Well, fuck it.